The first NFL Sunday is in the books, and your fantasy football team may already be in need of a shot in the arm. Whether its players underperforming or getting injured, your roster is almost certain to need some tinkering within the coming weeks. Here's a look at some of the players you need to add a drop from your roster following Week 1. Add Cooper Kupp. The star of the late Sunday games was Rams rookie receiver Cooper Kupp. The former FCS All-American tallied 4 catches for 76 yards and a touchdown on 6 targets Sunday in the team's blowout win over the Colts. Kupp's 76 yards were a gamma high, and they included an 18-yard score. He already looks like the favorite target of Jared Goff, even though this offense also has Sammy Watkins and Robert Woods. If you need receiver help, Kupp should be one of, if not the first guy you target on waivers. Kenny Golladay. Another rookie receiver making noise is Kenny Golladay after his big debut versus the Cardinals. Against one of the NFL's best secondaries, Golladay caught 4 of 7 targets for 69 yards and 2 touchdowns, both of which were very impressive. Golladay was a preseason All-Star, and it's already translating into the regular season. With defenses focusing on Golden Tate and Marvin Jones, Golladay will continue getting a lot of favorable matchups in the coming weeks. Austin Hooper was already viewed as a sleeper tight end coming into the season. Well, the secret is out after Hooper erupted for 128 yards and a touchdown in the Falcons' Week 1 win over the Bears. While it is concerning Hooper only drew just 2 targets, he made the most of them with some devastating stiff arms and broke tackles that were Gronk-esque. Believe it or not, Hooper was owned in just 60% of CBS leagues going into Sunday. If you're lucky enough to be in a league where he's still available, get him ASAP. Marlon Mack. Didn't see many running backs emerge in Week 1 that can be had on the waiver wire, but one that you can likely still get is Marlon Mack. The Colts rookie totaled just 45 yards against the Rams, but he was one of the few bright spots in a disastrous performance by Indianapolis. Mack also scored a touchdown on a play in which he was ruled out at the 1-yard line, and the play wasn't challenged. He showed a lot of promise in an offense that was expected to rely on Frank Gore, but it's clear Mack is going to get significant touches going forward. If nothing else, the Colts will slowly work Mack into the featured back role if they continue to lose and embrace a rebuilding year, what the Jets did last year by slowly phasing out Matt Forte in favor of Bilal Powell. Add Mack to your roster if you need running back help. Carson Wentz. If you need quarterback help like me, who started Carson Palmer in Week 1, Carson Wentz could be the top option on waivers in your league. Against Washington, Wentz completed 26 of 39 passes for 307 yards with 2 touchdowns and 1 interception in the Eagles' 2017 win. Wentz's first touchdown featured him keeping the play alive with defenders all around him, Ben Roethlisberger, who has drawn comparisons to before. He escaped the pressure and found a wide-open Nelson Agholor down the middle for a 58-yard score. In an offense that also has Zach Ertz, Alshon Jeffrey and Torrey Smith, Wentz has the potential to have a monster fantasy season. Drop Danny Woodhead. Early on against the Bengals, Danny Woodhead looked like his old PPR stud self after a torn ACL ended his 2016 season prematurely. Unfortunately, Woodhead left Sunday's game with a left hamstring injury that looks bad. He pulled up on Baltimore's opening drive, was helped off by a trainer and eventually carted to the locker room. Woodhead may have re-aggravated a previous injury after missing a portion of camp with a hamstring issue. He caught all 3 of his targets for 33 yards and had 1 run for 4 yards before being forced from the game. In addition to his ACL tear in 2016, Woodhead broke his fibula during the 2014 season. The 32-year-old back looks like his fantasy glory days are behind him. Kevin White. When Cameron Meredith was lost in the preseason, Kevin White looked like he would become the Bears' top receiving threat. Now, his season appears over as well. On Sunday, White went to the locker room with a shoulder injury and the Bears lost to the Falcons. He came out holding his arm after a catch before being sent to the locker room. Reports are that White broke his collarbone and is out for the rest of 2017. The number 7 overall pick of the 2015 NFL Draft will have now played in just 5 games over his first 3 NFL seasons. Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson was at one time a fantasy stud. Now, he's likely out for the rest of 2017 after suffering a possible ACL tear in the Jaguars' Week 1 win over the Texans. This is a terrible break for Robinson, who is actually in the final year of his rookie deal. He would have gotten a sizable contract in 2018 had he hit free agency healthy, but now, he'll likely sign it for a prove-I deal. Andy Dalton. Few need I say more.